Title: A Tragedy Foreseen, the Escalating Humanitarian Crisis in Gaza and Lebanon. On the third day of writing this piece, it is impossible to escape the sobering reality. The humanitarian tragedy unfolding in Gaza and Lebanon could have been avoided. Had Israel embraced a collective approach toward wisdom and diplomacy a year prior to the October 7, 2023, abduction and killing of Israeli citizens and nationals of other countries by Hamas during a festival, this devastating situation might have been averted. The ongoing conflict is rooted in a long-standing dispute between Israel and Iranian-backed groups like Hezbollah and Hamas. These groups have historically challenged the legitimacy of the Israeli state, while Israel has fiercely defended its right to exist and protect its citizens. The persistent failure to adhere to United Nations UN resolutions over the years, alongside both sides' deep-seated mistrust, has allowed tensions to fester and erupt into full-scale violence. In the year between October 2023 and October 2024, no meaningful steps were taken to enforce or even oversee compliance with earlier UN resolutions during periods of relative calm. This negligence has disproportionately affected the most vulnerable, civilians, particularly children and infants, who have had the misfortune of being born into this year of escalating conflict. The flames of anger, distrust and retaliation have been stoked by decades of unresolved grievances and unheeded calls for peace. There is no concrete evidence to suggest that the international community or any of the conflicting parties took decisive actions to maintain even a temporary peace while negotiations for a long-term solution were pursued. The failure on all fronts has deepened the humanitarian disaster, and the question now hangs ominously: how long will this tragedy persist? Among the most haunting aspects of this crisis are the unknown fates of the hostages still held by Hamas. Their well-being and that of those displaced by the war remains a mystery as they continue to suffer near or within active conflict zones. Even beyond the loss of life and displacement, the ongoing crisis has aggravated health concerns. Crucial immunisations for children, which are needed more than ever, have been delayed or neglected entirely, leaving vulnerable populations at risk of disease outbreaks. Meanwhile, the scarcity of food, water, and basic necessities has turned daily survival into an unrelenting challenge for civilians trapped in this war. With no area deemed safe for humanitarian organisations to provide aid, the needs of those affected have steadily been ignored or inadequately addressed. As war rages on, humanitarian efforts are rendered nearly impossible, and civilians, those least responsible for the conflict, bear the brunt of the suffering. At this juncture, the most immediate and humane solution would be the release of the remaining hostages, reuniting them with their families. This could act as a stepping stone toward beginning a broader peace process and eventual rehabilitation. Without addressing the immediate needs of the survivors, however, any talk of peace risks sounding hollow, as civilians continue to face the deadly consequences of war on every front. This tragedy, marked not just by death and displacement, but by long-term neglect of essential human rights, can only end through the collective will of all parties to put an end to the violence and begin the long, arduous journey toward a sustainable and just peace.